Hold on.
Not yet.
Okay.
Hi everybody, I'm Ben Jones. I'm the Cube Research Developer.
I'm Jordan Taylor. I'm the Cube Head Developer.
I'm Lydia Hines. I'm the Cube Researcher.
And I'm Tyler Blankenship, the Cube Project Manager. Now you may be wondering, what is Cube? Well, we chose our name. It's short, rolls off the tongue. And not just that, but it's also an acronym for computer using technology extraordinaire. Our application aims to help inform activists from colleges, large-scale investors, and relief organizations. Activists will be able to help without any monetary contributions through an interactive game quiz thing, and through just spreading general awareness. And our investors and relief organizations will be able to help through funding the game, because our game has a point system which will donate food to those in need. Because even though we may be cute, a lack of food security is not.
Alright, so what is the problem? Now, our program is basically trying to solve the problem of food security, which basically is in countries there is a less amount of food or there isn't enough food available to a general public. So our problem is 850 million people struggle with hunger each day. And actually another fact is 21,000 die daily from hunger-related deaths. So 1.2 billion people still live in extreme poverty. And our program is basically asking the question, what can we do to combat the hunger crisis?
Food security is supported by three pillars, which are food availability, access to food, and use. Now, without one pillar, the other two would falter, which is why I'm going to get into the three pillars that you see on the slide. Food availability is basically having acceptable quantities of food on a consistent basis. The World Health Organization says that we always have enough food on this planet to feed everyone equally and adequately. The problem is distribution, which leads me to our next point, which is access to food. Access to food is generally a nation's ability to obtain the amount of resources it needs to sustain a healthy diet. For instance, if a struggling country is unable to grow its own crops, they might be required to import food, which can be difficult and expensive for a third world country to do. Food use means having the right knowledge of basic nutrition and care. If people in a third world country don't know how to properly cook, cure, or store their food, that can lead to a lot of problems and possibly diseases. And
Alright, there are currently a few programs and companies designed to raise awareness and easily promote the donation of money towards the issue of food security in areas around the world. Some, for example, include Free Rice, the HGSF, and the USDA. Free Rice is a free online website that is mostly designed for students to play fun educational games in order to donate rice to countries in need, like Kenya and Mali. The player is given easy questions that continuously get harder as the game proceeds. And for each question they get right, automatically 10 grains of rice are donated to the United Nations. The HGSF, or Homegrown School Feeding, is a government-funded program led to serve lunches to school kids in underdeveloped countries. They also raise awareness for malnutrition, hunger, and poverty. For example, in Zanzibar, school attendance increased by almost 86% just because the HGSF was providing lunches for those school kids. Currently, there are at least 20 countries in Africa that are being influenced by the HGSF program. The USDA, or the U.S. Department of Agriculture, is a program that supports global food security through in-country building, research, and support for better market information. The program is taking considerable efforts to confront bad food security, like teaching small farmers and officials on plant and animal health systems, risk factors, and how to avoid post-harvest loss. They've also accomplished completing climate change research in a region and also increasing agricultural productivity. So programs like these are great examples of what can happen and what works when the awareness of food security is increased around the world.
So onto the program, basically another thing building off of why we need more programs like this is over the past 6 to 7 decades, food or hunger-related deaths have dropped considerably, nearly about 200 million since the 90s. And a lot of this started in actually the 1950s with the Great Leap Forward in China, which basically was Chinese authorities saying we really need to improve the health situation of the Chinese citizens. So this will pop up. Continue about that. So basically, China really started something around the world saying that we need more activism in regards to hunger and the world hunger crisis. So that's what this program really represents. So this is food for thought, and our mantra is it's time to end the war on hunger. So basically, we have a map of the world. You all know what that looks like. And when you go over certain regions of the world, these would stop having seizures, you can see that certain regions have a lower food security than others. So to go in depth about food security, a country's food security is essentially a calculation of its food production levels and import capacity. So basically, low-income countries such as like Mali, Kenya, a lot of African countries don't have the resources or the money to import food, especially in areas of drought and soil that's very arid. There's not enough food availability. Once again, you can see kind of our little peace sign circle. So anyways, so after explaining what food security is, you can go back to the regions and you can click on, you can't see the whole thing. You can click on whatever region and you can learn more about what it's like to be an insecure country in regards to food. So in regards to Central and South America, 47 million people in Central and South America suffer from hunger in 2011 to 2013. So you can go back and you learn a lot more about it in Sub-Saharan Africa, which has the largest amount of like food deficit, I believe. Asia has the most hungry people, but Sub-Saharan Africa is the worst off in regards to hunger. So you go back, you go to North Africa and the Middle East, and then once again, you can go to Asia and Australia. So that was essentially the research side of the program. And you can learn more about our mission. So basically, like I said, in the 1950s, the Great Leap Forward in China. However, currently 850 million people globally still face hunger every day. Like I said, 21,000 people die daily. What Lydia went on to say was that there is enough food in the world for everybody. Essentially, the program is saying there's enough food for everyone. It's our job to get it there. So a way to do this, you can play to donate. So you can donate manually, and we have this screen. Essentially, this is a mock-up. We're like a mock-up nonprofit. You can like enter anything. Like my name is Bob. you can basically enter anything because this is a mock-up. But basically, the submit button will tell you, thank you for your donation. Unfortunately, we're still an up-and-coming nonprofit organization, so the form you fill out is essentially a mock-up. So I think if we had more time, it would have been really cool to see things that we could have done. Maybe we could have redirected you to like a mission page. There's so many things we could have done with this, but essentially this is a mock-up, especially of a nonprofit. And I don't look at so many websites just to make this mock-up. Something cool. We literally have like every country in the world, so it's real. Anyways, so play to donate with our quiz. So much like the fame site, Free Rice, for every question you get right, we'll donate a loaf of bread to those in need. So basically, continue to our quiz. All right, so play to donate. Renee, how many people in the world go hungry each day?
Just kidding.
200?
Final end.
Your answer is incorrect. In reality, nearly 850 million people go hungry each day, according to the World Food Organization. So, Liam, what percentage of children under 5 die before nutrition?
I don't want to be right. 63%.
I'm going to tell you you're incorrect already. Okay, so anyways, it's actually 45, which in my opinion really isn't much better. But when you do click the correct answer, like Free Rice, correct, the World Food Program, you will see that bread pops up. And it's like, okay, cool, so I've donated a loaf of bread. So, Mac, in the United States, how many children live in households where people have to skip meals or eat less to make ends meet?
22 million.
22 million. You are Realistically, it's about 11.7 million, which really raises a question that the world food crisis is something that still exists in America. So our program really brings awareness not only to things in Africa, which we generally associate with being a third world country, but we also have to realize that we are having hunger crises in the United States as well. And like the message box says, that means 1 in every 10 households. So that means there are a couple people in the room right now, if this statistic stands true, that are struggling with hunger or are at risk. So from there, this one will get you guys. Okay, Raiden. A baby born in Shanghai, China now has a better chance of surviving its first year of infancy than a baby born in New York City. True or false? Actually, in reality, due to improvements on the health system in China, children born there have a better chance of surviving their first year as opposed to children born in New York City, which once again raises questions about how we're handling things with the food crisis in America. So basically, our thing has a lot of awareness. I'm going to answer this, but in case you're wondering, every 10 seconds a child dies from hunger. So anyways, essentially, this is our program. We have directions, our about page, exit, and whatnot. But essentially, this is a mock-up of a nonprofit that needs to raise awareness about a global issue. So we really took an abstract, I think, form of what it meant to be secure. There are things like actual physical security, like a lot of you touched on, which is like kids need to be safe, or what it means to be safe in your own household. Whereas food security is something that's a bit more of an abstract concept. But in reality, when you think about it, it's something that's largely influencing the world today. So back to presentation. Back to the presentation. Okay.
Version 2.0, we hope to incorporate our app into a mobile device app so you can take it with you wherever you go and donate as you wish. We also would like to improve to larger and broader audiences by including more games or more fun games for younger audiences and not just tech-savvy teenagers as yourself.
And to a same extent, actually, like, aside from putting out our reach and our message everywhere, there were some bugs within the program. I know I would have loved to have had, like, something with that donate manually page, like, if you put in, like, I don't know, like, John Stamos as the address. Like, it would have been like, hello, John Stamos is the address. But unfortunately, I couldn't. I read, like, our textbook. I really tried, and it like, really wasn't working. So the mock-up was fine. And another thing with our quiz, we had a counter at the top that told you what question you're on, and it never stops. I tried a while loop, it really wasn't working. But anyways, that's another like little itty bitty thing that I would love to fix. But other than that, there are a lot of great things with this program that I feel like as a group we really accomplished. So, thank you.
And a side note, when I was helping debug some of that
Oh yeah,
codes,
that was the
it was
worst.
one of the hardest programs I've ever debugged. Very cool, but trying to get the bread to show up,
Yeah.
I was actually working in our bread.
Still funny.